Good morning, my lovelies. So today I have been drawn to my Lover's Oracle and my Law of Attraction card. So we're going to see what comes up with those two. As always, I never quite know who this was going to be for or how it's going to resonate until I do it. So if it resonates with you, it's for you. If it doesn't, then it's not for you. So let's see what the cards want us to know today. What is going on? Who's this for? Okay, so I feel like this is for somebody that is in a place of someone's trying to find themselves right now. Now, this could be you or it could be the person, your other person, but I don't know. I feel like this is you. I feel like these cards are for you. I feel like you're wanting to be something else. I feel like you don't feel right. I feel like you feel like part of you's missing and you need to let go of whoever's around you right now or whatever's around you so that you can go and find yourself. I just feel like you're feeling really in the darkness, like lost, like you don't know who you are, you want to be a different person, like everything's too much for you, like it's not what you want, it's not the way you want, you feel like you're being pulled in the wrong direction, like this is just, you just need to let go, you just want to let go. You're like, I can't be this person, like this person doesn't work for me, I'm not in a good place, I don't know where I want to be, but I know it's not here. Maybe you've been around people that, you know, it doesn't feel right for you. Quite a lot of the time I pull my card readings around people that are healing. A lot of it's to do with healing. I work with people healing in normal life, so I think this is possibly why I tend to be more drawn to that. Why can't I move on from you? This person, I feel like whoever it is that's watching this, you are stuck. If this resonates with you, you're stuck right now and you feel like you can't move on from the person you are right now. Like you're lost, you don't understand. It's like maybe nothing's making you happy. Like, and you just like, I can't do this. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't want to be here. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I want to be. Yeah, you're so different from everybody around. It's like, it says around me, but it's like, I think that you don't feel like everybody else. I feel like you feel like you don't fit in, like you've always been on the outside. Maybe you're the black sheep. Maybe you're in, you've been in toxic places. You've always been an outsider. You maybe live abroad. Maybe you live around people that aren't your people. You're outside of your tribe. I feel like you don't fit in. You feel really like, this is not who I am. This is not where I want to be. I don't know who I am, but this is not it. And you feel kind of really, yeah, you're kind of like this person that you want to become. It's like you feel really dark, like it's dark without them. This is twice that this card has come up about darkness. And it's like, you feel really, your life doesn't feel right without this person, but it's you. It's like this version of you. You're not being it, and your life feels empty without this version of you. And I'm wondering maybe if you've pushed this version of you away at some point. Maybe you were told you couldn't behave like that. Maybe you were told you were mean or rude, or somebody didn't like the way you were. And so you shelved that version of you. But I feel like this version of you is missing right now. And this is what you're missing. This is why you feel lost. This is why you feel like everything's too much for you. This is why you're like, I can't do this right now. I can't be this person. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. Like, you're so different from everyone else. And the problem is, when you're so different from everyone else, you have no one to learn from. And it's really hard because you're like, well, I don't know who I want to be, but you do. I mean, maybe you're a person that's always saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I want to be. I don't know what I want. And yeah, you're like, you can't promise yourself anything right now, but you really need to go within and be like, who is the person that I truly want to be? How do I want to act? How do I want to behave? How do I want to show up in the world? Who is authentically me? Because quite often, especially if you've been in, a childhood where you've been in toxic parents, toxic teachers, toxic society, toxic church, toxic everything toxic, you're told to behave like a certain way. And when you don't behave that way, it like goes against you, and everybody makes you feel like a really bad person, and everybody makes you feel like you're not right. But the thing is, maybe that's who you were meant to be, and you're not being the person that you're meant to be. But what that does is it destroys you, because it's like you're lying to yourself every day, and you're having to basically cheat on yourself, because it's like, well, I want to be that version of me, but I'm not being it. Yeah, you see, avoidance or self-denial may be preventing growth. Face your truth with honesty and courage. Face your truth. This is about you. This is truly about you. Fear of failure may be creeping in. Trust in the divine process, right? And this is you. When you're authentically you, everything just comes to you. Like everything's like bam, 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 very quickly. Because you're being authentically you. Now, maybe what's authentically you, some people don't like. Maybe a lot of people don't like. But that's not your problem. Excuse me, that's not your problem. It's about you liking you, about you wanting to be you, about you getting up every morning feeling good about yourself and not caring what other people think about you. Because otherwise you can't move forwards. You can't live in a place of happiness and peace and joy, because you're not being you. Yeah, emotional hardness or defensiveness may be blocking closeness. Let your heart soften. So it's not about being like, a biatch. It's about, although you can be that, but it's also having your heart behind it. Because it's like, actually, you can be loving and kind and caring, but you can also have really strong boundaries. You can be, you can be nasty to some people and really kind to others. It's like, who's to say, my goodness, who's to say what's right or wrong for you? Only you can make that decision. And I think so many people these days are trying to look for someone to tell them how to be. Someone, we kind of jump on the bandwagon. Someone starts behaving a particular way and we're like, oh, I'm going to do that and be that person. But it's not you. I mean, maybe it's a part of you, but look also where you're going. Like, what are you drawn to? What feels better in you? Because sometimes we realize, sometimes we like really say something to somebody and it's the first, and we're like, and then we panic afterwards. But it's like we liked it. Like we go home and we're like, oh, thank God, I've been wanting to say that to that person for so long and I just didn't have the guts to. But then you kind of start feeling really bad. But maybe that person, because you're not used to doing it, it feels like bad. But actually, standing up for yourself and saying what you think is actually a good thing. Yes, not doing it in a way that's going to hurt somebody else, but you can nuance it and just be, you can have compassion for the person as well, but you can be still truthful and compassionate. So this is the heart place. It's like coming in from the heart, but also being you and saying what you want to say and being who you want to be, and understanding it's like, do you know what? This is me. I'm not stopping you doing what you're doing. So don't stop me from doing it. This is who I am. This is what makes me feel good. And you bring harmony. Yeah, balance and unity create alignment. Peace comes from embracing all aspects of yourself. Let me repeat that for those in the back. Peace comes from embracing all aspects of yourself. Foster cooperation and understanding in your relationships and within yourself. And this is the thing. You can be a biatch, but you can also be a loving one. It's like, it's like when you've got a friend who she's going through the same thing over and over again, and you always do the same, oh, it'll all be okay. When all you want to say to her is like, you want to slap her around the face and say, for goodness sake, like, wake up, girl. How many times do you have to go through this before you realize that it's you that's the problem? You know what I mean? But there's a way to do that that's compassionate. It's like, look, sweetie, maybe that you've got some patterns here that we need to look at a bit more closely. Let's sit down and do like a list of all the traits that you're going for that don't really suit you. And then maybe you don't want to go for guys like that because they seem to be hurting you. There's a way to do it so you're still compassionate instead of just being like, you stupid, blah, blah, blah. There is a way. So take the time to really look at yourself. Who do you want to be? And look at all aspects of yourself, because there are millions of aspects to you. But what suits you? What really, really, really suits you? Who are you deep down that you're trying not to be, but you really want to be? But you think that this person's bad or evil or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying do bad things to people, but I'm saying that's the thing. It's like that. Do it from the heart space of being who you are. So, you know, you can have boundaries, but you can do it with compassion. You can run a business and, you know, be like the boss, but you can do it with compassion. You can tell somebody the truth, but you can be sympathetic to them and compassionate to them. It's like, you know, using your intuition of what feels right at the time. Some people really need a good old, you're doing this, like, stop it. Like, can you not see that you're doing what you're doing here? You know, some people need that. Other people need a little bit more gentle, you know, a little bit of persuasion, a little pushing in the right way. But that's the thing, when you're using your intuition and using your compassion, you can see that, but you're also, it's like you're using the both sides of you. You're using the dark and the light. It's like I'm bringing them together and using them in harmony. And when, sorry, I felt like I did 6-7 then. I apologize. Sorry, anyone that's got a kid, it's like 6-7 at the minute, will probably, sorry, I apologize, because it makes me crazy as well. My son does it all the time. But 6-7 is actually like, if you look at what 6-7 means in angel numbers, it actually means spiritual awakening, which is really interesting because I just did it for this. So you're on a spiritual awakening path, and this is about bringing you into balance, in alignment, but the dark and the light, because we're taught that the dark parts are bad and evil and we should do those things. And no, when it's in balance, darkness and light, when they're in balance, make twilight. And twilight is beautiful. It's like there's nothing wrong with twilight, hence why I'm called Twilight Guidance. I love the twilight. It's the bit between the dark and the light, and it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful time, and it's a different atmosphere. It's so calm. It's beautiful. And that's what you're looking for in your life. You're looking for that peace, being authentically you, but from the light and the dark. There's nothing wrong with either. So the last card today is flexibility is the key to success. Adjust your approach without losing sight of your goal. Stay open to change today. Shift your method if needed, but stay committed to the vision. So this is the vision of you. Okay, who do you want to be? Really sit with yourself. Maybe at one point in your life, you were this person, you were full of energy and you were confident, and this is who you want to be again. But maybe when you did it before, you were, you know, people were like, you're nasty, you're not great, like, I don't like the way you talk to me, you hurt people, da 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 da. But maybe over the years, you've become more compassionate, more empathetic. Sorry, I still can't say that word properly. You have more empathy. So you are, you're like a different person. It's like you've been both sides now. So what you can do, maybe you ended up being on the receiving end of you, and you're like, you know, you kept meeting guys that actually did to you what you did to everybody else. So now you realize, because you've been on both sides, that there is a balance. And it's like, you need to come into the middle and go, okay, I like being that, but I also understand that when you're like that completely, it hurts someone. So I want to be like that, but I also want to bring in the compassion and the sympathy and the empathy and bring that into it. So I'm still this person, but now I understand what it's like to be on the back end of me. So I can actually say, okay, well, when I do that, it actually hurts someone. So, or when somebody ignored me, it made me feel awful. Like I hated it. It made me crazy. So, okay, I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm not going to ignore the person. I'm actually just going to go and give them an answer and say, okay, listen, actually, I'm not in the mood today. I don't want to talk to you. I'm busy. And you come back, and instead of just ignoring them completely, you actually answer them. Instead of ghosting them, you answer them. You tell them, actually, do you know what? I don't like what you did to me. You know, yes, we can be friends, or yes, we can hang out together, or we can be in a relationship, but not if you're going to do that. I'm not going to have that. You know, most things of ghosting, people do ghosting because they can't actually tell you how they're feeling. They have they're not able to articulate what's going on. And this is why people ghost, because they literally just can't articulate what the problem is, or they don't feel that they're able to tell you what the problem is. And most relationships just fall apart because of lack of communication, like right across the board. And people let people use them, and then they say, this person's using me, but they're not saying to that person, well, I felt really used when you did that. Like, I didn't like that we made that appointment to go out and then you didn't turn up. You know, I changed my whole day for you and then you didn't turn up. It's like, how do you think that made me feel? But then maybe you did that in the past. So it's like learning, or maybe you've never done that, but when you get into a relationship with somebody, all of a sudden you start doing it to them because you're like, well, everyone does it to me. Why shouldn't I do it to somebody else? That's the reason why, because you've been on the other end and you know how much it hurts. That's why you don't do it. So if you get ghosted all the time, what people tend to do is, well, I'm going to ghost everybody. No. Explain to the person, I'm sorry, you're not for me. Thank you very much. And you know what? You're going to get people coming back at you rude. That's okay. You did what you needed to do. You had sympathy, you had empathy, and you had compassion, but you also had a boundary and said, no, thank you. And you walked away. How that person takes it is on them. But it's like people are used to being ghosted and they're used to this, but they're sitting there going, well, I don't understand what happened. And now you're telling them, this is what happened. You did this to me and this to me and this to me. And I don't want to be with somebody who does those things. So I wish you a beautiful life. I hope you find somebody that's happy with those things being done to them. It's not me, you know. Many blessings. I'm now going to block you. You know, it's over. But it's, you really have to look at who you are. Who do you want to be? You're lost really right now, but we're never truly lost. We're just buried underneath the pile. So it's like taking all the pile out and working out, who do I really want to be? So this is for you. And it's your turn to really find your inner you and the authentic you, and to remember to balance it out as you're coming up. It's not like being one way or the other. It's being both. It's like, I can be that, but I also need to be that. I can be that, but I also need to be that. And it's finding that balance on between the two worlds, if you see what I mean, between the dark and the light. It's finding the balance between the two. It's finding that gray area where you're doing both sides at the same time. So I hope that's helped somebody today, and I hope whoever that found it resonated with. I love you lots. As always, have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.